So we spend a massive amount of time dissecting how creators hack the algorithm, right? Or trying to figure out why something goes viral.
Yeah, always focusing on the loud successes.
Exactly. But we rarely look at the other side of the equation. So today we're doing a deep dive into a breakdown titled To the Silent 90%.
Mhm.
And the premise is wild.
It really is.
The mission today is looking at how the people doing the absolute least talking online are actually the ones pulling the strings.
Right. It's basically the iceberg theory of the internet because the data generally points to this 1-9-90 rule.
Oh, right. The breakdown of community engagement.
Yeah. So in almost any digital space, 1% create the content, 9% engage. So that's your likes, your comments, your shares, and a massive 90% just watch.
We just lurk.
They lurk. And creators usually ignore that 90% because, well, they don't leave a paper trail.
But the core argument in this research is that silence isn't neutral at all. If you are part of that silent majority, you're unknowingly acting as the main gatekeeper for what survives and what dies.
Exactly. It comes down to how video platforms interpret silence versus impatience.
Because they don't actually care if you enjoyed a video unless you signal it with retention.
Right. And the most dangerous signal you can send is unintentional impatience. The notes describe this phenomenon called the click and dump.
The click and dump. Which sounds harsh, but it's basically the algorithmic version of walking into a room and just immediately walking out.
That is a perfect analogy because it's all about AVD, average view duration.
The metric the algorithm worships.
Yeah. So if you click a thumbnail because you're mildly curious, you watch for maybe 5 seconds, realize it's not for you, and click away.
That's a dump.
That is a dump.
See, I think most of us view that as harmless browsing. Like, I'm just channel surfing. I didn't mean any harm.
But the machine doesn't know you didn't mean harm. It sees that immediate exit as a strict quality judgment.
It thinks the video's bad.
Right. To the system, a high bounce rate signals that the title was clickbait or the content is just garbage.
So it stops recommending the video to other people to protect their experience.
Exactly.
That is brutal. So your casual curiosity essentially casts a vote to kill the video.
It does. I mean, we're looking at a case study here of a creator with over 1,300 videos who describes this as absolutely heartbreaking.
Right, the 40 hours on a project just gone.
Yeah, because the wrong audience clicked it first out of mild curiosity rather than genuine interest. They left immediately and the video is basically dead on arrival.
Wow, it's a false negative. The video might be incredible, but it got served to impatient people first. So how does a lurker fix this without suddenly having to write essays in the comments?
Well, the proposed solution is actually about better habits, not more engagement. They call it the intentional click.
The intentional click. I like that. It sounds highly actionable. What is step one?
Impulse control. The guidance is to read before you click.
So don't just tap the shiny image.
Right. Read the title, read the description, verify you actually care about the topic before you open the door.
Because if you don't verify, you are setting yourself up to bounce. And if you do decide to enter,
Then you need to commit to the watch time.
okay,
The source suggests sticking around for at least a minute or two. You need to feed that AVD metric to signal to the platform that the content has value.
but the part that really flipped the switch for me, and I think this is arguably the most important takeaway here, is the idea of thinking before the click.
Yes.
Because the argument is that sometimes the most helpful thing you can do for a creator you like is to not watch their video.
It is completely counterintuitive. We are trained to think views equals support.
Always.
But if you aren't in the mood for that specific topic, or you just don't have the time to watch it through, clicking it actually hurts the channel.
So walking past the video protects their data.
Precisely. You are preserving the retention stats for the next person who is actually interested.
It shifts your role from a passive consumer to a guardian of quality. You're acknowledging that content creation is this massive energy investment.
A total labor of love. By withholding your click until you are ready to engage, you make sure that effort isn't wasted on a bad algorithmic signal.
It really changes the perspective. You don't need to change your privacy settings or start engaging if you don't want to. You just have to treat your attention like a currency and spend it deliberately.
That is the bottom line. The algorithm is just a mirror of our collective behavior. If we stop the frantic, accidental clicking, the ecosystem gets healthier for everyone.
So here is something to chew on the next time you are doom scrolling and hovering over a thumbnail. Is your curiosity about to support that creator, or is your impatience about to accidentally punish them? Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.